again in the kitchen of dreams with another attempt of a lager review. The one I'm going to review just now is one from Sainsburys, and it's the original Crown Lager, 4% on the Richter scale. This is one actually that I was inspired to buy by, I think it was Paul's Beer Reviews. I watched Paul's Beer Reviews a while ago, maybe the last bout of hot weather we had last year, and Paul reviewed this, and he quite liked it as far as I remember. So here's a pour of the Crown. Supermarket beers, a lot of people shy away from them. I have tried bits and pieces of supermarket beers over the piece. So here we have, you know your expectations are not going to be high with this. So here we have plenty of life in that, plenty of effervescence, sort of little fluffy head that's sort of sticking around, but I dare say as it goes, pretty chilled, just took it out of the fridge. And for aroma, I know that head's going to die. Pretty faint, to be honest. Faint lagery nose. A little bit of corn maybe. So anyway, Sofa King drunk, drinking a Sainsburys, shop he doesn't frequent very often, and it's a Crown Lager exclusively to Sainsburys. I'd love to know who brews that. 4 on the Richter scale. Answers on the postcard down below if anyone knows. See what it's all about. Sanji Bar. Well, I'm in my flat just now, and it's an 80, I think it's 82 or 84 degrees outside. Any other time I could be drinking this in the winter and I would say, this is not for me. But these beers have always got their day. It's like, there's some guys out there who review beer and they just hate it when it comes out of the glass or the bottle or the tap or whatever, and they review it. Sometimes these beers have their day. It's just like every dog, every man has his day. It's just like, I'm a firm believer in every beer has its day. And like so, when it's 84 degrees, these beers have their day. It's 4%. It's a lawnmower beer, the Americans call them. I understand that now, because some guys in the States that review the domestic beers, as they're called, and they're just wet throwbacks. They're nice, they're cold, they're wet, they're sessionable beers. You could have 4 or 5 of them and then go away and do something else after a day's work. They're not going to knock you out. It's got light sort of corn, light lagery notes. They're not going to blow you away, but refresh wise in an 84 degree heat, yeah, it does tick that little box. It does, and I love that, the way that beer is just cascading. Look at the life in that. Is that not just appealing in a hot day? It's just coming straight out of the fridge, straight in front of the camera with Sofa King drunk. He's just poured it. It's not a world beater, but it's doing its job. I've got to agree with Paul. Paul reviewed this one in the premium, which is the white can. It was either one or the other, and I bought both of them just to see what like this. And the blue one, I wasn't holding out much for it, because the premium one, you would always say premium ones are slightly stronger, but the blue one, come on, it was pennies. I think it was about, in Scotland it was, I think it was just under £4 for 4 cans. Can't beat that. You really can't beat that. Probably in England it's a lot cheaper. Sainsbury's is not a cheap supermarket. So anyway, you could put a little dash of lemonade, you could put a little dash of lime in that. It's not going to set the world on fire. It's one of those beers that in a hot day, and you've got something to do tomorrow, it's one of those ones you could sit, you could neck 8 of them, no problem. got the next day in function. But then again, you might be able to do 8, maybe 12, maybe 16 of them, got the next day in function. I know for a fact I couldn't. So drink responsibly. So anyway, is it one I drink again? Yes it is, because I've got another 3 cans of it, so I'm going to drink it again. But I would buy it again actually, I would. So anyway, the Crown Lager, exclusively to Sainsburys, 4% in Richter scale. It's not a world beater, it's one of those ones for the hot weather. Or, not even so much the hot weather, even if you've been doing a lot of hard graft and you've actually sweated really much, really had a right sweaty job on, and you just want that thirst quencher. This is probably a beer. I've got another 3 cans of it. I'll probably put lime cordial or maybe a little dash of lemonade in it just to liven it up a little bit. But 84 degrees just now up here, and it's ticking boxes for me. So anyway, I'm going to give the Sainsburys Crown Lager 4% on the Richter scale. I'm going to give that a Sofa King drunk rating of, I'm going to give that a 6.5 out of 10. 6.5 out of 10 for a supermarket beer. To me that's a fair assumption. It's not a beer that I would be drinking in the winter. It's a beer I would drink in extreme heat, and if I had to get up the next morning, you know what it's like as you get old, longer in the tooth. You drink so many beers and then you get up the next day and it's roasting and the hangover's coming like a freight train and there's nothing you can do about it. And then you promised the missus that you had to do that for her and you were going to do that for her. And you thought, I don't know, it's going to be worse if I don't do it on my hangover. So you struggle your way through your day to do what you promised the night before. But if you drink something like that, you'll probably be able to go up and do it. So anyway, if you've had the Crown Lager exclusively to Sainsburys, you liked it, you didn't like it, drop a line below. And if you stuck along to the end of the video, Sofa King Drunk, I'll hopefully catch you in another one. Slangy Va, keep drinking the good macro lagers out there, because it's the weather for it now. 84 degrees, my god, one day of summer in Scotland, and I've got it. I had to work it right enough, but I've got it. Slangy Va, ciao for now.